Hi, my name is Nicholas Governanti here with the SUNYAC, and for this week's Alumni Spotlight, we're here with Fredonia alumni, Nicholas Guarino. What's going on, Nick?
Yeah, good. How about you?
Good. So, for our first question for you, Nick, it is how did you first get into running, and when did you decide to pursue it competitively?
So I think definitely when I was growing up, me and my brother, we were always like the fastest kids and did different sports like soccer, football. We did baseball for a little bit too, but usually that was our one TS. That was our speed and athleticism for different sports and things like that too. We were pretty big into football, youth football and stuff as kids. Then we moved to like try to focus on soccer and travel soccer. Which the defining point is like not making the travel soccer team, getting cut from it when they actually had tryouts for it at one point finally, because there had too many people trying to try out for it. Then we just made the switch and we just did indoor track, outdoor track, and cross country essentially in high school. Switched over from so I did. We were doing like indoor and outdoor track before that and soccer, but then I didn't do cross country until my junior year in high school. So I think that's when we started like just committing to more as doing a sport, just running in track and field.
Okay.
Um, I know I got a little topic. What was the question?
No, it was just yeah, looking at how you got into running competitively. I was gonna follow up with what made you decide to go to Fredonia.
Yeah, I think definitely it was. I wasn't sure where I wanted to go. I didn't want to go to somewhere, you know, too like big or too like where I wouldn't even make a difference.
Hmm.
Like because like UB, I don't think I would have impact at all. Like even though the sort of interested, I didn't want to go to a big school like that,
Hmm.
and other SUNY skills just didn't seem like wouldn't be a good fit or not. So
Okay. So for our next question for you, it is who had the biggest impact on you during your athletic career?
that's a tough one. I would say I think Jeff Beck definitely. So a little bit of history. Jeff Beck was our coach my sophomore and junior year in college, and then the athletic department at the time, which like I said, there's been a lot of changes that I get to. Didn't hire him back, but he still, for me, full disclosure, like he actually still helped like write some of the workouts and stuff like that for me my senior year, just because it was for continuation. But I think he would definitely be the one that actually had somewhat biggest impact and helped me from that time period from when he started coaching me from just sophomore to junior year. Because that's when I first, won my first national title my junior year when he was my coach, and from his what he helped, the training he helped, provide. I think definitely had the biggest impact, and I made the biggest progress then.
Nice. So for our next question, it is out of all the awards and accomplishments you've accomplished, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
The first, so there's definitely a bunch I'm proud of. The first one that because it's tough to choose, but the first that comes to mind is the double national title my senior year outdoor track is definitely a huge accomplishment. Um, I think the 1500 wasn't that day, that weekend, or that whole meet was. It didn't. It was still difficult, but not like I knew I was going to win it. Pretty much, it was a very very good percent chance I was going to win it. The 800 different story. There's another great thief runner, Ben Sheets, who was there was like this talk, like everybody's like, oh Nick's afraid to do the double. There's all this talk on forums and stuff like that. And then I ended up like, you know what, screw it. Like I will still. I asked Jeff back at the time. I'm like, would I still? Do you think I would easily still win the 1500 if I tried to do the double? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Like, you know. So I decided to do the double. The 800 meters is the last event after the 15 prelims, 8 prelims, then 15 finals, and then now we're 20 later, the 8 finals. So I don't have that much time to rest at all. There was like Thursday, Friday, the prelims for both of them respectively for 8, 15, 8, and then the finals are both Sunday, an hour 20 apart, which is crazy. So after the 15 finals, I got to just sit, like, I just go into the area out near the track where we put our spikes and stuff, and then just go for a shakeout jog. Didn't have to, like, they let me pre-check in for the 800, which is crazy, So and just to be able to run that the right way to actually beat Ben was crazy, because he's one of the fastest ever in D3 for 800 meters. He's, we ran 147, that year, I think. I'm not 100%, but yeah. And then I've won the fastest times ever too as well. It's crazy, it's that to actually come back and beat him like that. And because the chances were, like, I was going to come, like, second or third or something like that, you think, in 800, and probably win the 1500, but it's to do both of those and just come back and try, take a chance and try to actually accomplish something and do a double. Not many people, you look at the list of, like, people that have done, like, the 815 double, it's not, there's not very many that have pulled off the 800, 1500 double at least at a national meet like that in D3. Like somebody like that's like your Nick Simmons or Carl Proners or whatever like that have accomplished something like that. So that's, I think, one of my definitely proudest moments. Like I said, it's tough to choose. The other one is definitely, I think, I have gone to qualified for, I would say sub 4 if I've gotten there, but I've not gotten there yet. But I think one of it is definitely one time at indoor nationals, I almost beat Nick Simmons in an 800 meter race once, which is crazy. So that's definitely, like, example one of the one that you could throw up there. But I think the most special is definitely because everybody that was involved was in senior year in college. That double and being able to win 2 national titles in one day.
That's awesome. So for our next question, was there ever a time of struggle or uncertainty throughout your career that made you question your commitment to running?
Yeah, there's been a lot of times. I think, like, I'll give you 2 examples. First, I'd say is, and I wasn't necessarily going to give up, I guess, but question, like, what I was doing in the training and mileage I was doing, going into my sophomore year, I decided to do too much mileage, actually. So I think I got a little iron depleted and burnt out. But then by the end of the season, I started running better in cross country. But there's times I was just, like, not able to hold in workouts, and people that were definitely slower than me, were not as talented, were on a team, were beating me in workouts and races, and I was just worn out. One time I was just, like, my room with my brother, I just, like, started, like, cried a little bit, just was like, I don't know what the hell's wrong about Josh. Like, you're fine, just, like, don't worry about it, like, you'll get there. Like, so just having a brother there definitely helps a lot too, because having as a training partner, stuff like that. But time like that, you just question, like, why you're even training, or if you're even good at all, and after college too is tough. First year, it was tough to be committed to training. I was, trying to find a job, things like that. So in the first year out of college, it was definitely tough. I think I could have done better if I made more of a commitment or was actually more dedicated. But it was tough then, just like it's not the same. It's when you go for after post-collegiate, it's very tough to, make a change, even if you have, like, going doing it full time, which I've never had a contract or anything like that for running after post-collegiate leave, or doing, if people that are a part of a training group or doing it more full time, it's still tough. It's not the same usually as college people. That college atmosphere is something special, I think, though, with your team competing for the college and the university. So going after that was definitely a tough time of, like, questioning, like, I don't know, it's you don't know why necessarily you're doing it anymore, but for me it's I just love competing, and you find you find your right way after post collegiate. Everybody's got their own way to do it, but you got to figure out why you want to still do it.
Definitely. Okay. So I did a little research, and I was just kind of wondering, what was your experience like? Because I saw that you were training for the Olympics in 2016. So like, what was your experience like training, like for like, or gearing up to train for like during that time?
To be honest, 2016 ended up not going too well. So I was trying to get into the Olympic trials, but because I have qualified before in 2012 was a provisional qualifier, and the year before that, since I ran like 147 at after college season, I definitely qualified again provisionally, but we missed the automatic qualifier by like 0.3. So the U.S. championships then after college I could have gotten into, but that was like 0.3 faster or something. But to be honest, it's for how I do my training and everything. It's not too any different than any other season really. It's just I think sometime in 2016 though, after making the indoor track and field championships in Portland with my brother, we definitely had high hopes, but I think there's a lesson learned from what we actually maybe trained a little too hard, didn't take enough recovery. We didn't run as fast as we wanted to that outdoor track season, so it ended up being we didn't qualify at all for it, but because we had a good indoor season, we competed at US indoor, so we really thought we were going to qualify, but it's one of those things where you got to chalk it up to wisdom and make sure to do, I guess, make sure to not take that into account next time you're trying to train for something like that.
Mm-hmm. Briefly explain, please, how you got to your profession today.
What was the question again?
Briefly explain, please, how you got to where you are at your profession today.
Like my actual job and everything?
Yeah.
Yep. So it's kind of I've had various different like jobs since out of college, and there's been like 3 or 4 contracts. So it's a company called Datto, and we've acquired a bunch of other companies. We primarily go through the MSP channel, managed service providers, provide services and different IT tech solutions. So the main thing is, backing up servers, SaaS applications, remote monitoring software, things like that, and networking devices and things along those lines. But I started in August 2014 for the company.
That's awesome. Thank you. So for our last question for you, Nick, it is, what is the best piece of advice you would give to a student athlete today?
Take that same dedication, that same mindset that you have with being you need when you're you are a student athlete, because you have to actually be able to train and still do schoolwork and stuff like that. Take that same mindset and dedication into your life after college, because it's limitless your possibilities, man, if you bring that to in the real world, because you're going to need it to succeed, I think, because it's definitely, I think that student athletes definitely end up being one of the most successful out of a lot of students, because they're already practicing time management and being able to put in the work. I'll use the phrase, just they're able to put in the work they need to actually succeed. So I think using that same mindset and dedication that you need as a student athlete, taking that same mindset and dedication into your career, wherever it may be, or whatever you want to do you want to continue training, as well as like whatever your professional career is going to be, is definitely something I would definitely take into, post-collegiately after you graduate.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Once again, my name is Nicholas Governanti here with the SUNYAC. This was Fredonia alumni, Nicholas Guarino. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.